Living next to Karen had always been a test of patience, but nothing prepared me for the saga that began when she complained about my dog's barking. My dog Max was a lovable golden retriever with a big heart and a loud voice. Yes, he barked, sometimes a bit too much, but mostly he was just trying to alert me to the squirrels in the yard or to welcome guests. I'd taken care to train him well, but no dog is completely silent. One morning I received a passive-aggressive note slipped under my door. Your dog is way too loud. Please keep him quiet. Some of us need our sleep. I sighed but replied politely, explaining I'd do my best to minimize the noise. But the complaints didn't stop. A week later, Karen showed up at my door, arms crossed, and said bluntly, "Your dog wakes me up every morning. It's driving me crazy." I tried to be understanding and told her I'd work on it. Maybe take Max out for a longer walk in the mornings. But Karen wasn't satisfied. The next morning, I heard Max barking around 5:45 a.m. I was about to step outside to calm him when Karen's front porch lights flicked on, and suddenly a booming opera aria blasted through my speakers. At exactly 6 a.m., the opening notes of Puccini's Nessun Dorma filled the neighborhood, echoing off the houses and rattling windows. Karen's stunned expression when she opened her door to complain was priceless. "What on earth is that?" she yelled. I smiled and said, "It's opera. You know, the music that's all about powerful voices." I thought it might be a nice way to balance out Max's barking. For weeks, I continued the 6 a.m. opera ritual. Every morning, Karen's windows would shake with the soaring tenor, sometimes accompanied by dramatic crescendos and high notes that carried across the street. What happened next was fascinating. Max, confused by the sudden operatic competition, actually barked less. Maybe the powerful music calmed him down, or maybe he was just intimidated. Karen, on the other hand, grew more and more frustrated. She called the HOA, threatened noise complaints, and even tried to ask me to stop. But I was always one step ahead, explaining it was just my morning music routine. Eventually, Karen started showing up with headphones, trying to drown out the opera, but I noticed a subtle change. She stopped complaining about Max's barking. In fact, after a few weeks, she even smiled awkwardly when she heard me humming along to La Boheme during her usual complaining hours. Sometimes when someone points out a problem, the solution isn't to fight it head on, but to add a little creativity, a splash of humor, and a dramatic opera voice blasting at dawn.